What's up, Layman? Well. What do we have here? Thanks for joining me. It's a Monday. It is what it is. Appreciate you being here, whether you're watching this live right now on Twitch or if you're watching this on YouTube post-mortem. What's up, Furwy? Hi, how are ya? Thanks for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Really makes it fun to be live building keyboards on the internet, which is kind of a strange thing to be doing, but it's a cool little niche that I've found myself in. So, yeah, I'm trying to think if I have 2 a.m. check. Oh my goodness, get this man to bed. Thanks for being here, even though it's the middle of the night. It's crazy how many like international people check in my stream, and it's like the middle of the night. And yeah, I don't know. That's super nice of you to be here. So. Dude, I feel that. I've been trying to work it back. I was sick last week. What's up, Filet? Good to see you, Filet. I was sick last week, so my sleep schedule got kind of wacky because I was like up all night and then sleeping in the afternoon, and so trying to get back to like a normal schedule. So, anyways, yeah, today is a build I feel like I've been talking about a lot and just have not done yet. So. While I have other things to build, new boards to build, exciting upcoming things, I want to get this one done. Rebuild Tofu, baby. Yes, I have a Tofu65. Oh, right on. Cool. Well, hopefully this doesn't nuke your bandwidth here. Just watching a stream at the same time. But yeah, we are rebuilding the OG, one of my first custom builds, which is this. This cute little Tofu 65. It's got an aluminum plate, and it's got silent black inks in it, which at the time, I was pretty early on in building keyboards, and I had tried pretty much every type of switch except for silent. So I was like, oh, well, KBD fans had a deal where you could chuck in some switches in checkout for the board, and they had a lot of options, and I was just like, I should try a silent switch just to see how it is. Oh, there's already a hair in this. This is such a bad sign. I reserve the right to cut the camera and not show you the keyboard chow inside this board that I'm sure is just lurking, because I'm sure it's going to be nasty. I have not cleaned this thing in a while, but anyways, I had the option to just chuck some switches in, and I was like, sure, let's do it. Let's do some silent switches. And for what they are, I would say now, having had the experience I've had with a lot of switches, I think silent inks are my second favorite silent switch. I really like silent alpacas. I think they're probably the best silent linears in the game. I've also tried Xylence for silent tactiles, and I don't like them. I think they're moosh. So anyways, this is also an ASA profile keycap set, which I think is interesting. It's kind of it's not uniform, but it's lower than SA, somewhere in between, and it's kind of an Olivia like Olivia Dark style. And I actually really like it on this board. It's got a little bit more chunk to it than some of the other keycap sets that I put on this thing. But obviously with silent switches, it doesn't matter as much. But I think I'm just going to pop the caps off, rebuild it, and then put the same ones back on. So I think what I should do first, though, is maybe a pre-sound test and then a post-sound test. Because I'm also going to O-ring mod this to try to make it more like gasket feeling. So let's do that real quick. Let me plug this thing in and we'll do a quick sound testarunio. Oh, that took a minute to come up. We're setting up a new device. Yo, this was my daily driver for ages. I don't know what it means by new device. Come on now. All right. All right, so this is the Tofu65 with silent black inks and some form of attempting at lubing the stabilizers back in the day before I knew what I was doing. So yeah. Okay. It doesn't sound terrible. The stabilizer on the space bar is definitely really has a lot of ticking. So that's one thing that I definitely would like to address. I'm pretty sure I used like OG cherry screw-in stabs on this, but they might be clip-ins. So I am fully prepared to swap out the stabilizers if need be. So yeah, I don't know. It's not the worst. And like I said, as far as like silent switches go, what happened to my music? I would definitely take. Hello? Oh, it's in between songs. I would definitely take silent silent black inks over a lot of things, but yeah. Anyways. There we go. All right. So, having said that, let's pop the keycaps off this bad boy first and foremost. It is, yeah, I agree. Weird but good is a definitely not a bad description of what this thing is, because I don't hate it. Yo, what's up, Nintendo? Good to see you. Let's get a shout out from my boy. Good to have you here. If you are not familiar with Nintendo, you should definitely check his stuff out. If you're looking for stuff other than just keyboard streams, he does a lot of art and plays video games and has really cool arcade style vibes. He was showing me a new scene he made today for a giveaway that was very impressive. So yeah, definitely check that out. This man is an animal and he will stream. He lives in Australia, but he'll stream all night sometimes. And there was a dude, what was it, like an 8-hour stream that you did the other day? I was very impressed. It was a beefy stream. Hey, what's up, Trixie? How are you? Good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Look at all these friends. Just a bunch of friends hanging out. So far, honestly, the keyboard chow is not as bad as I feared that it could be. So that's good. Sounds good, Furwy. Hey, yeah, send me put some pics on the Discord if you want to, of your board when you get that baby built. So that'd be cool. Right? For sure, Trixie. It's definitely good to be on the back end. You know, hey man, it's only 6:21, all right? I stream early to avoid the degen hours, you know? I try to keep it wholesome. I try to keep it light, you know? Thanks, Furwy. Appreciate it. Get some sleep, man. I think actually maybe the reason that there's not a lot of junk in this keyboard right now is partially because I recently swapped the caps out. Until recently, I actually had PBT Notion, which was like an in-stock. I'm pretty sure BIP designed it, and I really liked that keycap set. But I wanted to try out these ASA caps, so that's why I think I cleaned it out when I swapped these out. So. Dude, okay, I have a story for you guys. I don't want to dox anybody, but we just hired a new guy at my work. I'm a front-end developer. I work at an electrical engineering firm. And so we just hired a new guy as another software developer who was moving to the city I live in Montana. So he bought a new car because I guess he had an old car he was getting rid of and wanted to buy a new car. So he decided to buy a new car and then have the dealership drop it off at the airport. So he just flew into town, hopped off the plane, got into a brand new car, and then drove to work like this afternoon. I was like, what a baller. This man out here knows how to live. Like, I was very impressed. It was a Honda of some kind, Honda Accord, I want to say. So, yeah. I was like, if it had been a Tesla, I would have been like, okay, my dude, you were way too cool to be working here. But anyways, it's a sensible car, which makes it even better. Okay, let me get a little brush and clean this out a little bit. We're also going to have to unscrew all these screws. I thought I had a little brush. Is it in here? Oh yeah, it is. There we go. One of these little key brushes. Yeah, how's everybody's day going? You kind of tired, Nang? What, let's see. I'm trying to convert time zones here. I don't have a time zone command like you do. Is it morning? I'm assuming it's morning over there. (10:30 a.m.) Yep. Okay. Cool. How's the lockdown going? Is that I don't know how long it's going. Is it one of those things where it's like no end in sight? We're just locking down till we're good. Oh my word. Just finished building a keyboard. I was too lazy to fix the stabs. Been there, done that. Oh no. Dang, okay. Dude, that's brutal. All right. Sad to hear that, man. I'm glad I'm not in the middle of that myself. That would be, I don't know, just be hard to deal with, you know? I am also a fan of the early afternoon nap, though. The little siesta, it really gets you through, you know? So I can tell you right now that these stabs are probably just going to get yeeted because I had forgotten that back then I was real big into dielectric grease, which is good for what it is, but it gums up really fast, which is probably why this was ticking a little bit. So, oh, Uber Eats and Twitch, right on. Yeah, there we go. Get this guy out of here. So here's our case. I really like this brass weight on the bottom. We'll clean that up a little bit after we're done. That's a lot of, dude, that's a big party. What do I use on stab now? I use Cryotox 205 grade 2. So the thick boy Cryotox instead of dielectric grease. For better or for worse, because I mean it's definitely more expensive, but it actually there's not. I'll show you when I get to it because I'm definitely going to be putting new stabs in this. But yeah, it It's expensive, but it works really well and it doesn't dry out, and it's even smoother than I guess there's like kind of almost a heaviness sometimes that Krytox or that dielectric grease can add if you put a bunch of it in there, and I definitely was going overboard on this. I'm sure. I was a young buck. Very enthusiastic, I'm sure, about building this thing. All right, I'm not sure how many screws there were. I should have counted. I definitely hear one. There's another one. Okay. Yeah, this thing might be a bit gross. I apologize. But the first step is obviously going to be just to desolder it. Oh, I also have plate foam in there, apparently. Yo, it's been a minute. Soldering's not too bad, though. All right. Cool. All right. Let's... Dude, should I tape mod this thing? Tempest mod? I don't know. I've avoided it to this point, but this morning when I saw Elvin Tempest mod a Rama like U80, I was like, okay, all right. That's one of the boards I would have assumed doesn't need it, but what do I know? Also, I've learned to put this little heating pad on my soldering board because I melted another desk mat at one point. That's what I'm here for. Tofu is a good tester board. You're right. That's a good call. Let's turn this guy on. Let it get toasted. Yeah, I guess I'll need to dig some tape up then, because presumably I would use masking tape or painter's tape. Yeah, and I got to O-ring mod this thing as well. Let me check. Hold on. I'm going to check my closet for some masking tape. I did find some. So we have this super stupid thin stuff. And then this super stupid expensive stuff. This might actually be a good candidate for it, though. It's really thick. We'll see. We shall see. How are we doing here? It's feeling warm for sure. All right. Hey, Nang, good question for you. Have you ever dealt with the Z-Cam? I just found out about Z-Cam today, like an alternative cinema camera, like budget-friendly thing. And they have this camera, the Z-Cam E2C, which is like a little cinema camera brain. It's kind of like red cams where they're just a box and then you have to put accessories on it. But this one is powered over Ethernet, which I have a PoE switch already. And then it you can control it through like a web browser and then just put the IP address of the camera into OBS to have like a high quality video source. And so it's literally one cable because the data and the power comes through this Ethernet cable. And I was like, dude, like this camera is, it's nice. It's a Panasonic GX8, which I do like, but I would definitely like something a little nicer on this like upwards camera. So I was like, dude, that seems amazing for like a live streaming camera. So I might check that out. It's currently out of stock everywhere. So yeah, accessible cinema camera for content creators that aren't filthy rich. I agree. And they had like a 6K one that was like under $5,000, which is an insane price for like a camera with like 16 stops of dynamic range. So I was impressed. Might have to check that out. But the Zcam 2C was yeah, that was the other thing. Yeah. So if you don't know, yeah, that's true. Most cameras have like a lens mount. For those of you who aren't into the camera world, you typically would have to pick one, right? So you'd have to pick Canon or Micro Four Thirds or Sony or whatever. In Micro Four Thirds, it's kind of nice because the mount is smaller than a Canon mount, so you can get an adapter or a speed booster. But then you lose a little bit of the coverage of the lens onto the sensor, and there's other disadvantages to that. But so the Zcam like cinema camera, some of them have like a swappable mount, so you could have like a Micro Four Thirds camera and then just swap the mount out with like a Canon mount, which is cool. I mean, there are still some disadvantages to that because the sensor is still smaller. It's like not a full size, like full frame sensor, but I mean, really amazing that you can actually do that and put like an internal ND in that little lens mount. That's really cool stuff. Like the upgrade path on the Zcam seems a lot more robust than Blackmagic's even, which I love Blackmagic, and my primary camera is a Blackmagic Pocket 4K. So the other thing is that I have a DJI Ronin gimbal, and I can't fit the Pocket 4K on the gimbal. So if I had a Zcam, I could definitely fit that on the gimbal, which would be amazing. And the other thing that I appreciate is that a lot of these modern cinema cameras record onto an SSD instead of a CFast card, because CFast cards are so stupid expensive relative to the storage capacity. So 6K's form factor mimics a consumer camera, but Zcam. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, and the box brain is so much easier to customize for what you want. The one complaint that I always see about Zcam, though, is rolling shutter, which, to explain that a little bit, if you don't know, rolling shutter, so normally a camera sensor will scan in data from top to bottom. So if you're turning the camera really quickly, it'll have scanned in the top, and then it'll have moved before it scans in the bottom. So the content on the frame will kind of do this jello-y, wavy thing, which is what's called rolling shutter, or an effective rolling shutter. And they say that the Zcams tend to have really bad rolling shutter, especially when you're in high dynamic range mode, which is where you get like 16 stops of dynamic range, which is crazy. But the so the alternative is a global shutter, where it scans the entire sensor in an instant, like in a single moment. So there's none of that, but almost no cameras are global shutter. The Pocket, I don't know about the Zcam 6K or the Pocket 6K. I use a Pocket 4K, and I know that it has decent rolling shutter. Like the rolling shutter is not terrible on it, but it all depends on the speed at which they're scanning in that sensor. So I don't know. It is noticeable if you're doing like a whip pan or something, but I mean, there's probably enough motion blur at 24 frames a second that you're not going to notice that anyways. So I don't know. It is what it is. Which is a lazy way of saying I don't have a huge opinion on it. Guess for the likes of us, rolling shutter wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, for sure. Like, I've never run into a situation where the rolling shutter on my Pocket 4K was like prohibiting my art, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not doing anything that is like important enough that it's like, oh, this jello-y effect is completely ruining it. It's like, most people won't even notice it. You have to be shooting like a still subject with a quickly moving camera, or a quickly moving subject with a still camera. But that seems to happen a little bit less, so yeah. If you're like shooting a wedding, it's like, who cares? A key action sequence, like that famous sequence from Taken where it's like 37 cuts for Liam Neeson to jump over a wall or a fence. Also, these are unlubed silent inks. I don't think I mentioned that, but at the time, I hadn't ever lubed switches, so I didn't know anything about that. And I actually had I was of the opinion that you couldn't lube silent switches, which is not true. You absolutely can. And I have. And I will. If someone else wants me to in the future. Because I'm probably not going to put silent switches in personal builds from now on. But you definitely can. You don't want to lube the bottom of the stem. That's the only kicker. These ones might be a little bit no worky. We'll see. Oh, we're already plugging up. This is one of the disadvantages of this thing, is that it's a beautiful piece of machinery, but it clogs a lot. Totally. I agree. Definitely worth the hassle. There we go. Okay. We back. Sort of poking the rod in there every other switch. Interesting. I've found that typically it only clogs up when I am bad at using it, i.e., if I let go of the trigger immediately, it'll clog more. But if I keep holding it as I pull it away, it tends to not do that. So. Also, the angle at which you hold the PCB seems to affect it, because if you're holding it straight down, the big solder glob will accumulate in this like top chamber, and it will really start to mess with it. So if you hold it sideways like this, it seems like it works a little better. It's cooler. Yeah, I like hold it like this. Feels good to be a gangster. Right on. I mean, I hope I'm teaching useful things or good information. I don't know. We'll see. Learn from my mistakes. That's the interloper way. You always use the brass thingy and move it around. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Whatever you call that. The, like, scouring pad. I should have a notes emote. Oh, I thought about it. I have a couple ideas. Let me pitch them to you and get some feedback. One of them was I wanted to take the Betamax logo and make it my own colors, like the kind of purple, orange, yellow. It's just like a B symbol, but I thought it'd be kind of cool. The other one I thought would be funny was like the little broken JPEG symbol, to make that an emote. I bet that already is an emote, which is why I haven't fully done that, but I just thought it'd be funny. Ooh, what are these? 3G notes. Apiary notes. That's cute. Alright, we clogging. I also will sometimes use pliers to hold this declogger, because if it's in there too long, it gets really hot. I don't know. That's a good question, Sean. I'm not sure if people would, but it's at a certain point, it's like, well, I know. There we go. Betamax. Oh, Baymax. Dude, Baymax emotes would be adorable. I love Baymax. That's such a good movie. I usually don't rewatch animated movies that often. I'm usually more of a live action guy, but I've seen Big Hero 6 a lot. It really gets me like wanting to build stuff. Every time I watch a movie with Iron Man or that movie, I'm like, dude, I should go like engineer some nonsense. It's so good. It's so good. San Fran, Tokyo. Yeah, for sure. Like the world building is immaculate. It's just chef kiss. Iron Man is the reason I want to learn how to solder, right? Dude. Okay, so I have a really dumb sense of humor, right? And an Iron Man made me want to build my own virtual assistant, right? So I was like, dude, I'm gonna build my own version of Jarvis, which is an insane undertaking. But I built my own scuffed version of Jarvis, and instead of being like, I, for context, I love the show Seinfeld. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. Watch it all the time. And Kramer is a hilarious character. Actor aside, he may be a bit problematic, but the character of Kramer is really funny. Specifically, that portrait of him, like that painting of Kramer. So I bought that painting and I put it in this horrible gold gaudy frame that's just super ugly. But my wife was like, this cannot be in the house. Like, we can't have this on the wall. We can't put it on the mantle, which is where I had put it. We can't be having this. And I was like, well, what if I take Kramer and I give him a job, right? Like, this is how I make my own Jarvis. Kramer will be my Jarvis. So I put a Raspberry Pi, which is like a little single PCB Linux computer, in it, and then a microphone and a speaker and a little a linear actuator on. I cut his mouth out, and then I put it on a linear actuator so it could move up and down. And then I found some open source like Home Assist, like Google Assistant, but it's like open source. So I programmed it so that when you said, "Hey Kramer," it would like, that was the wake phrase, and then he would respond by saying like, "Hey buddy," which is a line from the show, and then you could ask him stuff, and it would respond in like a British accent, which was the best I could do. But at least it would like reply with "Hey buddy" in Kramer's voice, like an actual clip from the show. And it was like, I thought, oh, this is amazing, I'll put it on the mantle. It was so much worse than the normal painting to have like a Kramer painting that's mouth moved, that I was like, we can't be having this in the house. And now I agree. Like, I did the opposite of what I wanted, which was to not convince my wife to bring Kramer into the house, but I was just like, this is nightmare fuel. Someday maybe I'll bust that thing out on stream, because I need to fix it. It's not working properly, so maybe I will bust that baby out right now. Anyways, there's the story of the Kramer painting. All right, we're getting there. One switch at a time. All right. I think that's, I guarantee you I've missed a switch. Oh, yep, there it is. I guarantee you I've missed another, but I think we are clear. And I also am pretty sure that not all of these are going to come out. Like, there's probably still a bit of residual solder in some of them. But that's okay. We're going to bust out the old switch puller. And because I'm a cool guy, I have a RamaWorks switch puller that came with the Rama Kara. It's weird for me to say Kara because I have a sister named Kara. And it's like, I've been saying it that way my whole life. Oh, there's one. So it was weird for me to be like, nope, it's called Kara. I just remember as kids, people would constantly be mispronouncing her name. Oh, it's clog time again. The Rama Interloper Creative Sister's name. Yes. I did see that. It looks so good and very thoughtful. They were like, it's got a storage insert, so when you have the caps on something, it's still useful. I thought that was really neat. This week, y'all, the Rama Kate keycaps come out. I'm so thrilled. I've been hyped about them for ages. Also, let's just check. I guarantee you these are clip-in stabs. They are not plate mount, but they are clip-in PCB stabs. You will not buy any more keycaps. Keep telling yourself that. That's what we've all said at one point. I've been there. Really? I debated it too, but I ended up not, and so far I'm okay with that. Until you acquire TKL, right on. You trying to get yourself a frog? What you're looking for? Frogs are cool. So I want to get the Rama chess set. Yeah, same. It was good timing too for them because, like, at least for me, I had just watched the Queen's Gambit and I was like, oh, I had been playing a lot of chess and I really wanted it, but I just couldn't swallow that price tag, man. And when you throw in the shipping, I was like, I love chess. I play chess online a lot. Should we do a chess stream at some point? Where I can play you guys? I'll teach Filet how to play chess. Even though I'm really bad at it. That'd be fun. Chess is actually pretty popular on Twitch. Which is cool. I feel like it's been great for the game. Dude, my elo, though, is so terrible. I can't even remember what it is, but I think it's like 700 or something. Ah. Dude, I play chess with my moderator, Mountainous Head. Good friend of mine. Every once in a while, we'll get together, play some chess. It's been a minute, though. We should do that again soon. We'd, like, go to a coffee shop or something with some chessboards. Him and his wife and me and my wife, and we'd play a little chess. Super fun. Terrible, but enjoy the game. Same, dude. That's the way it be. For sure. For the love of the game. See if those come out. I know like 1 or 2 openings, you know? And if my opponent does something that I'm not expecting during said openings, I'm so far up a creek. That would actually be really fun, though, to do like an interloper chess tournament. Get some of the Keycap streamers together, play some chess. I bet I could talk some of these guys into it. That's okay. Neither am I. That's what would make it fun. It'd just be like everyone is a wild card. Dude, do it. All right, Dabbling Layman. We're getting it started. I should talk to, who would be fun? We should, well, Nintendo, if he can make it. That would be super fun, if he's willing. And maybe like Disastertron. If I can reach way above my station, he'd be super fun to play with. And then, let's see. I'm just thinking about people I like watching, I guess. But dude, it'd be super cool. Dude, see? Let's just get like the trash man chess club going where we're all just garbage. It'd be so fun. Who else? I don't know. We'll put together a little roster. That'd be super cool, actually. I know. Speaking of like streamers getting together to do stuff, the 28th. I'm announcing it here because he said today. Disastertron's subathon is happening, which is not this Saturday but next Saturday. So, yeah, check him out. He hit 1,000 followers recently, and then it's his 6-month stream anniversary. I'm really psyched for him. So I will be there. I am streaming that night, but I will not be on that long, and he will probably be on quite a bit that night. So I am resoldering a switch because it is Not cooperating. Dude, I do that too. So I took some of the lessons, like the free lessons on chess.com, and it actually helped a ton just to kind of like understand like some core concepts beyond just like how the pieces move, which is really cool. So I highly recommend them. Not sponsored, but they make it really easy and friendly, and then you can play against bots. The cool thing is they actually have a bot for like a lot of the big streamers, because they'll take like whatever skill level that streamer ranked at, and then they'll make a bot that plays at that skill level. So Nintendo, if you want to play against Pokimane, you can do that, my guy. She's a pretty difficult bot to beat, but I mean, you could do it. If that's what it takes to get you into the game, my guy. There you go. Ooh, he's interested. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Let me find a place to put these keycaps. I don't know, dude. I know I don't want these switches anymore. Let's push the caps over here. That's a YouTube video. Dude, it is. That's exactly it. That's the best clickbait title you could do. Beating Pokemon at chess? I love it. Do it. Who are the... Let's see. Hold on. Let me check. I know who is it? Code Miko. If you guys watch Code Miko, she's hilarious. I'm sure that most of you know who she is. She's a pretty big streamer, but versus computer, who are the bots? They have under streamers on chess.com. They have XQC, Mr. Beast, Pokimane, Ludwig, Code Miko, Nico, Andrea Botez, and Alexandra Botez, both of whom absolutely wiped the floor with me. Gotham Chess, Eric, Aman, Anna, I think Anna Cromling, Nemo. Yeah, dude, these streamers like... Oh, no, this is Anna Cromling. This is Anna Rudolph. Anyways, they... Like, as you can see, I've never made it past... Let's see, who's the highest elo that I've beaten? Mr. Beast, 1100. But I haven't beaten Ludwig or XQC. They're both 1200 elo. And then Andrea Botez and Alex Botez are just like absolutely way above my head. So there you go. But if you ever want to play chess against these bots, it's super fun. It's like low pressure because there's no like humans on the other side of things, which for whatever reason makes it freakier, even though it might actually be easier because they'd actually be closer to my elo, which is like 700 or 800. But anyways, I digress. Oh, I forgot. This is that adhesive plate foam. So I just stuck it on here. Interesting. Okay. Well, who knows what I was doing back then. I really lived fast and loose at the time. Not that I don't still. I think that means we're done with the desoldering gun. So let's unplug that and let it sit for several hours to cool down. For real though, like this thing is scary. It stays hot forever. Okay. Let us clean this up a little bit. Also take the stabs off of here. I'm seriously just gonna throw these away. I eviscerated these stabilizers. Yikes. I don't really use cherry clip-in stabs. I will say, fun fact for you, if you ever find yourself staring down the barrel of a clip-in cherry stabilizer, there is hope. Let me tell you. One of the things you can do is, see how they have this, well, there's a notification on my wife's computer. See how they have this little split part? Like it closes when you push it through the hole, and then it expands to catch on the edges, right? That's how they work. Well, you can stick a toothpick in between these two little leaves and then flush cut it with some like wire clippers, and that will keep it a lot more stable so that you can't accidentally rip the stabilizer out. So that is one thing you can do if you have to use clip-in stabs, but I really just prefer screw-in stabs. Yes, note time. I'm impressed with how quickly Ozzy had emotes. Like, it was like the next stream after he was affiliated. I have been affiliate for like 3 weeks, and I got nothing. I don't even have sub badges. But I refuse to like outsource anything, so just because I'm insane. So I'm definitely gonna end up spending a ton of time on it myself, and it will take forever, and it'll be like a day late, $1 short, probably at a certain point, but you know. Okay. Let's actually use an alcohol wipe to clean this because it's so greasy and gross and I don't like it. There you go. Cool. Get that grease out of here. What's up, Cyborn? How are ya? Appreciate you popping by the stream. Oh, watch out. The chat's about to disappear. Doing good. Not long, just woke up. Right on. Oh, the chat didn't disappear. Nice. Boom. I updated the build command before you even knew that I hadn't updated the build command. That's how fast I am. You just procured another Pokemon Amiguri pattern. Oh, cool. Right on. Which Pokemon? Also, full disclosure, I know basically nothing about Pokemon, but I really like Poliwhirl because that's one that I remember seeing at Burger King as a kid, and I thought it was adorable. So that's like obviously like Pikachu and Charmander and whatever. Whoa. Bo Cables, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I know almost nothing about Pokemon, which it's like it seems like a huge part of like the the Twitch like Rolodex is like Pokemon knowledge. It's Eevee. I know who Eevee is. Eevee is adorable. In a onesie, that's so cute. I'm excited to see pictures of it when you get that thing done. Okay, PCB is... I know it's working. I've been using it for several years. It is still a bit greasy, but that's all right. It's not for a client. It is just for me. So let me grab some stabilizers. All right. What are we thinking, gang? That's like the most middle-class fancy dad quote. What are we thinking, gang? We got Durock stabs. We got C3 stabs. We got more cherry clip-ins for no reason. I don't know why I have these. And then we got clear Durock stabs. They're all V2s, but I'm thinking I'm going to go with the Smokies, you know? You have to finish another octopus. I saw the picture of the octopus that you posted with the octopus keycaps, and I thought that was adorable. I think we only need 4 stabs. Right on. I think it's cool that you guys like chuck the stream on while you do stuff, because that's exactly what I do. Like, while I'm working on stuff, I'll just put a stream on in the background. It's super nice. All right, and then we need 3 2-use stab wires. Oh, we also need these little O-rings. And these O-rings. And some screws. Holding a baby. That's so wholesome. Aw. Right on. Someday you can tell your baby that they were held to the sounds of a crazy man on the internet who was building keyboards. Right on. Yeah, I loved the picture of like the octopus keycaps. I just got my octopus keycaps in today. I am very excited about them. And then we need a 6.25U wire. Always either coiling cables or soldering. Right on. Dude, that's one thing I've never done is made a custom cable. Presumably, that's what you do. I don't mean to stereotype by your name, but I'm going to go ahead and make an assumption here. Hey, look at that. Hey, I think that's the first redeem that I've had on channel points. Or channel points. Excuse me. The points are for the boys. Which I cannot stress enough is a gender-neutral term. Anyone can be a boy. My wife is a boy. Big Jake, hello. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. All right. We're going to also holy mod the spacebar stabilizer. Boop. Gaming with the boys earlier. Nice. That's how my wife became a boy. She decided to join the boys with Overwatch. She loves playing Overwatch, which is cool. I was like, she was like, she really liked Mario games growing up, but was never into like shooters or anything. And then I introduced her to Overwatch, and I was like, wow, it kind of seems like she likes that. That's so exciting. And then she started playing it even when I wasn't there, and I was like, that is a good sign. We take those. Bo Cables, what you working on? Do you got a Twitch channel to shout out, or an Etsy store or something? I want to see what you do. Let's do a little balancing here. What games do you play, Trixie? What's your go-to? Bowcables.com. Cool. Right on. I'm going to check you out. Ooh, nice website. Pre-made cables, custom cables, collabs with upcoming sets. Very cool. I like it. Cool. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. GTA Online, nice, nice. I've actually never played. Okay, that's not true. I did buy GTA once, but I did not find it very fun because I kept obeying all the rules, like traffic rules and stuff, and I didn't like robbing people or any of that stuff, so I did not play for very long. Not really my vibe, but Don't Starve Together? Are you kidding me? That's such a great game. That's like one of my favorite art styles. In fact, my wife made me a birthday card. My wife is a fantastic artist, and she made me a birthday card one year with like the Don't Starve Together characters on it, and it's so cool. I love that game. I play it with my sister a lot, which is fun. And Stardew I've heard is amazing. I've never played it before, but have you guys heard of a game called Slime Rancher? pretty deep cut. It might not even be fully out yet. It might still be in early access. But you collect little slimes and you make little habitats for them, and then you can like cross them with each other so you can get new slimes of different types. It's really fun. I like it. I haven't played it in like probably a year though. Escape from Tarkov or Clash of Clans. Okay. Diablo 2 remaster. Oh, cool. I never played a Diablo game. Dude, I watched some gameplay footage of Escape from Tarkov and I was like, this, I think it's Tarkov is how you pronounce it, but it looks so hard, dude. Like, oh my word, the stress. Like, it's like the most realistic shooter ever in that, like, you don't just get stuff for free. It's like you have to, I don't know, man. It looks impossible, but also like rewarding in that sense, you know? It's definitely in the genre of casual chill games. Yeah, for sure. I'm assuming you're talking about Slime Rancher, not Tarkov. Because if you're talking about Tarkov, we have very different tastes in chill games, Trixie. Diablo 2, right on. You know, okay, so I'm normally not one for like the big trendy Twitch games, but like when Valorant came out, I was just not into it. I don't know, man. I never played CS:GO either. I just found those games too like sweaty and intense. I have played Valorant, but only like online with friends, never like on the internet or anything. But this new game that I've been seeing a lot on Twitch is called Splitgate. I'm sure most of you know what I'm talking about. You prefer CSGO over Valorant. Yeah, it seemed like, I don't know, when I saw the announcement for Valorant, I'm like, okay, so you combine CSGO and Overwatch. Good. Like, a lot of the heroes were basically Overwatch clones. I don't know. But anyways, Splitgate is one that I saw, which combines Portal and Halo, basically. I mean, it looks a lot like Halo, and gameplay-wise, it seems like it has a lot of like Doom and Halo DNA in it. And then it has portals, which seems amazing. And I downloaded it recently because it's free. And I will definitely be playing some of that sometime soon. Maybe not on stream, maybe on stream, I don't know. The only game you play is Rocket League. Ah! Yes, I have played Rocket League. It's so hard. I am very bad at it, but I do enjoy it. And I actually, the same is true, I think, what you said of like watching the esport, because I actually do watch Overwatch esports. And I think that's super fun. But I should check out Rocket League esports because I feel like that would be amazing. I don't know why I've never thought to look that up. Like, holy cow. That'd be so fun. Also, Trackmania is really intense to watch, like at a high level. It's so crazy. Like you watch them driving in Trackmania on like a basically a professional level, and you're like, okay. And then you try those tracks and you're like, how on earth did they do this? Okay. So we've got the holy mod in place for the spacebar. So I'm going to start by lubing that. Yeah, I really like Satisfactory as well. I've talked about Satisfactory, but it's basically like, I don't know, imagine Minecraft but made for like engineers. It's or like Factorio, but with a first-person shooter vibe to it, where you're really not. I mean, there's not a lot of combat. It's mostly like fighting off the wildlife, which doesn't happen that often once you get your factory up and running. But holy cow, is it fun? It's just like factory optimization. I got 2 of my friends hooked on it, and their wives can blame me for never seeing them again. It's the off season at the moment. Should be picking up again pretty soon. The Rocket League NA final on ESPN. It was on ESPN. Interesting. Excuse my voice crack. Does it stream on Twitch too? I know Overwatch League moved off of Twitch onto YouTube. And they still haven't fully said why, but I'll definitely be checking that out. It was funny. I know NBC was streaming the Olympics on Twitch, but every time I would tune in, it was like someone playing a game instead of the actual Olympics. There was like a Minecraft thing going on at one point, and I was like, maybe I'm just too old, but I want to see the actual Olympics right now. I'm not out here trying to watch, someone speedrun a Minecraft boat race right now. I just want to see someone smacking someone on the head with a kendo stick like we were watching on last stream. That's what I want. But, And the weird thing, too, was like NBC was doing a bunch of DMCA takedowns for all the streamers who were watching the actual Olympics. And I was like, well, okay, then you show the actual Olympics. They do stream almost every day during the season on Twitch and YouTube. Great. Okay, I will definitely go find that. That would be super fun to watch. I do like Rocket League. It's one of those games, though, that I'm just so trash at that I never play online because I'm nervous, but I will play with my friends. Okay, so we got the spacebar stab done. This is the syringe of 205 grade 2 that I was talking about. So I injected this directly into the stem housing. I'll do a close-up the next one that I do, just so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, it seems to work better than dielectric grease. Again, more expensive, so if you just want to buy some dielectric grease, that will certainly work. But just don't go crazy with it, because that was the problem with the stabs that I took out, was I had gone so crazy with the dielectric grease. In fact, I'm trying to recall, but I think at one point I had, or no, maybe when I originally built this, I didn't even use the dielectric grease, and then I put it in a syringe and like injected it in there, which is why it was all over the place. I actually got mine on Amazon. You can't get grade 0 on Amazon, but you can get grade 2 on Amazon. So yeah, and I think, okay, so we, everyone's got their opinions on the Key Company. Personally, I don't love them, but I kind of understand sometimes when things happen. But the Key Company, for those of you who don't know, has an exclusive agreement with Crytox for, I think, specifically grade 0. Because I seriously doubt Amazon is going through the Key Company for grade 2. But every single vendor that will sell you Crytox grade 0, I'm pretty sure, I'm like 90% sure this is true, has to go through the Key Company first to get it, because they have that exclusive contract. Again, I seriously doubt Amazon has that kind of deal for grade 2, but that is how it would be for grade 0. So it is kind of nice to be able to buy Cryotox without feeling like, I mean, and I still do buy grade 0 from other proxies just because I want to support those people, but it's like sometimes I'm like, I don't want to like, I don't know. I don't love the key company, so I try to avoid stuff from them if I can. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. So here's and it's nice that these are clear. So I will just, yeah, and I'd still use, I have tangerines, I have kiwis, I have whatever. It is what it is. You know, I'm definitely not unhypocritical. So I'll take this syringe and I'll just inject the Cryotox into this housing just to fill up that space. See that? And then the other thing I'll do, and I will get this up close and personal so you can see it. So I put it in the housing, and then on this little crook where the elbow of the wire will sit, I'll just inject a little bit there too. That way it doesn't make a ton of noise in there. Basically anywhere that plastic and metal touch, I use grade 2. You just replaced your tofu today, Sag. How much should I sell it for? What size tofu? Is it a 60 or 65? I actually don't know like fair market value for a tofu. It's a good question. I bought this a while ago, and I'm pretty sure it was like, including shipping, it was like $250 or something, but I don't actually remember. Anybody out there got any opinions on how much a tofu should be sold for? Also, thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. Just a chill stream tonight. There we go. Got another stab done. Took a stab at it, if you will. $65% alu, pretty much mint. Mil-max PCB and alu plate. Yeah, I would say that sounds reasonable, especially if someone's looking for a mil-maxed PCB already, because it can be expensive to have someone, like if someone were to send me a PCB and ask me to mil-max it, I think my charge would be about $30 to mil-max it. So if you include that, if that's what someone's looking for, like $170 for the whole thing, yeah, totally. On Mech Market, you will find a buyer. Okay. This is always the boring part of the stream. I sometimes will pre-lube these things, but given that I didn't actually know if I was going to be replacing them or not, I did not. But I have thought about doing that though, like especially because I typically will holy mod the spacebar. I was thinking about just like at least putting the Band-Aid part into a couple stab housings, just to have them prepped. JTK bread set. Interesting. That's a good question. I have never purchased a JTK set before, so I'm not sure what I would value that at. Never really sold anything on there. I found that a lot of times the mods don't like it if you do OBO because they're trying to discourage like a bidding kind of thing. However, most people will like make you an offer. Like if you if they think your price is high but they want it, they'll probably message you and be like, hey, is this reasonable? You can put OBO in the mech market posting, and then they'll like auto mod will probably comment and go, hey, just so you know, even though this says OBO, we're not doing bids here. So yeah, I would say sell it for kind of what you think, but if you want to put OBO in there, that might help move it. So yeah. And if you include shipping in the price, that's a little life hack. Just factor in shipping when you come up with all the pricing, and it seems like stuff moves a lot faster, at least in my experience, because psychologically people will be like, well, that one's $50 but $8 shipping. That one's $58 but free shipping, and they'll take that instead. So I don't know. For whatever reason, that seems to work pretty well. The only thing that I would specify is if you're shipping internationally, that doesn't always work. For me, I can say this includes shipping in the continental United States, but if you're international, we can talk. Because that happens sometimes. I'll sell like, I sold a board, to like a guy in Chile, and had to ship it down there. And so it was like, he was very gracious and was like, yeah, I'll work with you to get the pricing. And so anyways, reduces the amount of confusion. Exactly. I've seen some crazy pricing structures. Like there was a guy on Mech Market like yesterday that I saw had a posting where it was like he had shipping based on like how far away from his state it was. What's up, Elvin? How are you? I was just talking about you earlier. I was saying that I saw you tape mod a Rama board today, and I was like, dang, if even a Rama board likes the tape mod, then maybe I'll try it on this Tofu. Not sure about pricing for shipping. Yeah, if you're international, it's definitely harder, I think. But it depends. 5 to 10. For domestic shipping in the continental US, I was watching the Rama stream this morning. Was it the U80? It's your hot take. Fair enough. Yeah, for domestic, I will typically do like $5 shipping for keycaps, $10 M60. That's what it was. $5 shipping for keycaps, $10 shipping for boards, and then I use Pirate Ship as the way I buy all of my shipping labels, and it generally works out. So sometimes you actually make a little money if it's a little under $10. Sometimes you lose a little, and then the other thing you got to factor in is PayPal fees. Because I always forget about that, but it's absolutely worth doing goods and services on PayPal, but they take a percentage, so just remember that. Which is why usually if I see someone listing something that I really want to Mech Market, if the price seems a little high, I'll still be like, you know what? You got to pay shipping and you got to pay PayPal, and so I'm probably not going to bother trying to, In fact, the other day I bought something from a guy on Mech Market, and he I never really negotiate, right? I'll just be like, yeah, I like that. I think your prices are reasonable. I'll take it. And he had given me a $5 discount just because I hadn't tried to haggle the price. And I was like, what a kind man. He must have had a lot of people, trying to haggle aggressively on there, and was just relieved that I didn't. So he just gave me $5 off, and I was like, what a cool guy. Pirate Ship is a service that you can use to create United States Postal Service shipping labels. And that's what I use for all my domestic. And actually, I've used it for international shipping as well. You can actually ship internationally with the USPS. So everything exclusively runs through there. Just makes it easy. It's hooked to my PayPal. And then I have a little label printer that it's connected to, so it'll just like print out the label. So easy peasy, squeeze the lemon, as they say. All right. Let us get rid of all this lubing stuff. Thank you for your service. That's good to know. Yeah, right on. I don't think I've ever haggled price. Yeah, me neither. I don't know. It's like, it's funny how it's just like, I never haggle price. Like I don't like to do it. Maybe it's because I'm just kind of reserved personally, but I just don't like to do it. So Any tips for someone starting out building boards for other people or selling? I would say if you're going to advertise your services, advertise them on Reddit. You'll get a lot more eyeballs on there. I've actually never gotten clients through Twitch before. I will say though, clients typically like it when you have a Twitch, because if they're sending you their baby, like their $1,000 board to build, they want to see you build it and know that you're taking good care of it. Make sure you have good pictures of your soldering work. That's something that I have been burned by in the past, because I usually will like I'll forget to take pictures, or I just, I don't want to open the board back up to take pictures or whatever. And so you end up with just like crummy pictures, but do that. But yeah, I don't know. That would be, do them free first. Yeah, for sure. I actually didn't do that, but I think that's good advice, because it was really, really slow for me to get clients. But for me, I actually, I was able to buy a bunch of boards just to build personally, to have as like examples. And so it's kind of the same as doing them for free. It's like doing it with yourself as the client, if you want to think about it that way. But the only disadvantage, or the major disadvantage rather, of that is that you don't get people who will vouch for your ability. Because a lot of times on Mech Market, you'll see vendor or service posts, and they'll say, yeah, I'll solder your stuff. And then there'll be a couple comments like, I worked with this guy and he was great, or she was a fantastic, keyboard builder. I would recommend again. And that's always a nice like little vote of confidence. So just having that is nice to have. So if you do them free first, that's definitely a huge plus of that, is that you can get some reviews in. And then as far as selling boards, yeah, I would say have nice quality photos. On the Mech Market sub, you have to put a timestamp, like photo album, at the top of the page, or the top of the post to kind of display what you have. And don't just stuff everything in one photo. A lot of people do this. They'll take one photo and everything they're selling is in that one photo. And it's so frustrating, because it's like, I'm looking for something specific. Like they'll have 20 artisans and they'll just be like, I'm selling these. And it's like, well, I don't know them by name. So how, it's like, maybe some people do, probably a lot of people do, but I don't. And so I don't know how, like, I might be interested in buying one of these artisans, but I don't know which one I'm looking at. So I just do a separate photo for every single item, and then I'll make a table on the post, and then for every item I'll have the name of the item be a link to that photo. So if someone's like, oh, that thing, and they can just click on it and see what it is. That definitely helps a lot. What's up, Carts Boy? It's been a minute. How you doing? Good to see you. Only the main photo needs timestamp. Correct. So I'll usually timestamp. I'll have the link at the top be just like timestamp, and it'll actually be a whole album. The first photo will be like everything, and then every photo after will be individual photos, and then again in the table I will link them. So took specific photo. Yeah, that's good too. So if you have like a board that you're selling and you do like an entire album of photos for that one board, that's really helpful too. So doing stuff locally. Yeah, for sure. Shipping is annoying, but like once you get in a groove, it's not that bad. I'm doing good, Carts Boy. I'm doing good. Good to see you. Really? Interesting. Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of eyeballs on Facebook, that's for sure. That is for sure. But typically, are those like local pickup? Oh, dang it. That was exactly what I was trying to avoid. Are those like local pickup things, or is it like shipping? Yeah, okay. Have you seen GMK Kavala? Oh, I have seen that. Let's look that up real quick. GMK Velo is the other one that is a canceled group buy that I'm very bummed about and I talk about constantly. EPBT. Yes. EPBT. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I am definitely going to get this. Look at this thing. They even have it on one of my favorite boards, the Mysterium. Isn't that fantastic? I'm absolutely getting this once it comes out. Wait, is it in group buy right now? Hold on. It is. Wait, no, it starts 10-1. Is that right? Let's check out Bala Supply and see if it is. No, fair enough. Definitely, you know, I had an experience like that where like a set that I really wanted didn't meet MOQ. And I was like, how could this happen? And then I was like, oh, right. Not everyone has the same preferences as me. Your town has 400 people, so no one is buying or selling boards. Oh, sure, sure. Yeah, mine is, I mean, mine is like 50,000 people, but it's in Montana. Like, people aren't buying keyboards here. The amount of times I've had to like explain myself for what I do is insane. People are like, you do what? That's such a weird hobby. And I'm like, I know, but it's fun. Okay. I only dumped them all out once. Yeah, that one kind of reminds me of PBT Notion a little bit, which was another set that I loved. And I have. Also, did y'all see that Milkshake was coming out as like an in-stock item in both DSA and Cherry Profile? 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I don't actually think I need 5 of these. I love Milkshake. I have the cat Milkshake set, and I have the Milkshake NK65. My entire apartment building in Korea has more people than my entire town in the US. Dang, okay. You must have moved to like the middle of nowhere. A friend of mine is moving out of town to be a farmer. But good night, Bo. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. It's good seeing you. I'll definitely be checking out your cables more in depth. Yeah, I think the same for me with Milkshake. Like, I like it a lot. I'm still not 100% sure I'll be picking up those sets. Because the other thing is, like, I don't love DSA as a profile as much as I used to. So I want to visit Korea too. That would be super cool. Should do a group trip out there. Take the whole channel. Everybody here. All right, let's pop these other stabs in. A group buy trip to Korea. There we go. Like a Groupon. Okay, do you know what? Do you guys know what a Groupon is? Is this just like a weird US thing? Come visit, I'll buy you dinner. Let's go. You hear that, y'all? Come crash on my parents' floor. That'd be so cool. Yeah, Cyborn, it's a discount for groups. Okay, so yeah. The concept is, if you don't know, is just that it's like a thing where you can get a discount if you buy something in large quantities, right? And so it'll just be like a bunch of strangers all buy the same thing and then they get a better price on it. Makes sense. Well, my dad got LASIK, like laser eye surgery, on a Groupon where it was like if a certain number of people all signed up for laser eye surgery, then they got a better price on it. And so it's like he and a couple of his friends that were all like around the same age all signed up and they all went and got laser eye surgery. And I thought that was so funny. Like, that was the last kind of thing I would have expected to be in a Groupon. But hey, it worked for all of them. Used to be a thing here in Malaysia. Yeah, I don't know if I would. I mean, the thing is, though, like, the Groupon is the website, but the actual LASIK was through like a well-renowned, like, known laser eye surgeon. So it wasn't one of those things where it was like, we're going out to a back alley for some laser eye surgery, but it was still funny to me. Also, speaking of which, so my wife used to work at a clinic that would do laser eye surgery. And one of the things they were doing was an FDA study for like a new type of contact lens that would help heal your eyes after PRK. So I don't want to get graphic here, but when you get LASIK, what they do is they cut the front of your eye so that there's a flap they can open up, and then they laser underneath where the flap is, and then they close that back up. But for the military, if you were ever going to be in like a high impact situation, which, you know, obviously is a lot more likely in the military, there's always a chance that that flap could open up, which is terrifying because it never like truly fully heals. It's always there. It typically will stay closed unless you get hit in the head really hard. So they developed a new technique where instead of opening up a little flap, you dissolve the front of the eyeball with alcohol, and then you do the laser eye surgery, and then over like the course of 2 weeks, it'll slowly heal, which is great because then it's like there's no flap, you're good to go. But it takes forever to heal. Like normal LASIK, you're good to go like the next day. So they were developing these contact lenses to put on your eyes to help heal them, and so they were doing an FDA study. And they needed volunteers. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. And so my wife got both of her parents in on this FDA study, which meant they both got free laser eye surgery, which is great. But the problem was that they had it on the same day. So like they both went in, they both had laser eye surgery at the same time on the same day. And then they were both just like blind for 2 weeks. So we had to like keep checking on them, making sure they were okay. And like they were just wandering around their apartment completely blind. It was pretty funny, but it's not something I would want to experiment with the FDA. Dude, go get food. I'll be here when you get back. For sure. This is going to take a minute. Not something I would want to experiment with the FDA with. Yeah, I don't know. The FDA was, the trial was basically just to FDA approve it. It was like a private company that had made this contact. So I don't know. It was a very interesting situation, but definitely humorous to say the least. And actually as a perk of that job, she got to have that surgery for free. So that's been cool. She got her eyes fixed up for free. Okay, so here's what I'm doing now. The mod I'm going to attempt on this thing is I'm going to attempt to O-ring mod this, where these are the screws. The screws go through the PCB, and they then screw into a couple little standoffs in the case. And I really want this to feel a little softer, so I'm putting a little rubber O-ring on either side. Oh, hey, sending you out that keyboard to change the PCB. Hey, man, my door's always open. Let me know, and I will get that done for you. Are you talking about that YMDK board? Your dad got LASIK and then later found out it was the doctor's first time doing it. Oh, my gosh. If you're going to tape mod first before you cover the holes up. Oh, true. But I should solder first and then tape mod. That's annoying. The reason I was going to do this first is because I don't have to reach through the plate with these screws now. But you're totally right. I should definitely tape mod this first. I was just thinking I'd be a clever boy and I would do this so that these rings would hold. If you can see, where is it? Right here. This ring is like holding the screw on. You just came across a dark amber T1 switch and it looks so nice. Yeah, for sure. Dude, I'm a huge fan of T1 switches. I highly recommend them. So I haven't seen that particular switch before, but if it's a T1, it's generally a good bang for the buck, I would say. Definitely try lubing it though if you can. I would highly recommend that. I literally just tried that because are you co-building a tofu right now, Filet? Dude, okay. Still haven't bought the SA keycaps. Yeah, right on. Okay. The dark ambers look great in person. Let me check these out. I haven't seen these yet. T1 dark amber. Canon keys. Oh, yo. These look nice. Is it like a bluish stem? Is that what I'm seeing here? Dude. You're building a wood tofu. Neat. Okay. Durock T1 Dark Amber Switch in full nylon, including the stem. Oh, no, palm stem. Oh, dude. This would be so tasty. Filet, what's your hot take? They feel like kiwis? That's an endorsement for me then. Dude, a palm stem and a nylon housing. I actually really like that combo. That's what the lavenders were that I just lubed. Okay, filet. Now the stem is black in person. Okay. Interesting. Huh. It's actually not a bad price either. 75 bucks for 110, 58 for 90 of them. Huh. Okay. I will. Yeah, dude. If you're looking for a review, that seems like a good deal to me, man. You know what, filet? I'm just gonna risk it. Here's why. Here's my logic. After everything on your desk. See, here's the thing though. I was thinking that too. I was like, oh, the white ice one looks nice. But that thing ain't white. That thing is silver. I actually saw a guy on Reddit who had painted his white ice white. And I was like, that's what it should be, like an E-white. But if you like silver though, then yeah, for sure. Also, you can definitely sell those for at least, well, that's not true. Before they started stocking, like keeping them in stock, you could definitely sell the GMMK Pro for above what you paid for it. However, I don't know that that's really the case anymore now that it's like in stock. Yeah, dude, buy them when you get paid. Which standoff holes am I using though? That's the question. I don't think it's this one. I think it's the other one. Yeah, it is. So I don't even have this in the right slot on the board. That's okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, if you like a silver board, then for sure. Like, I don't mind a silver board. I like this. You could have just pre-cut the holes. Yeah, I don't know. I think what I'm going to do, my bold new world strat here is going to be that I'm going to preload these holes with the screws anyways, and then just try to be cognizant of them as I drape the tape across the back. But we'll see how well that works for me. You know, if I knew what I was doing, would I really be streaming on Twitch? No. I'm here to entertain the masses by messing this board up, okay? And to instill fear in all potential clients in the future. That's the goal. Fact, yes. Everybody wants their keyboard built by just a wildcard goober on the internet. Right? That's the best way to make sure it gets done right. But you're messing it up good. Yeah. The goodest. Are there any in stock 75 boards that you could just have me build? Oh. Let's actually talk about that. There's a website that I like called Foxstock. Let us go there, ladies and gentlemen. To the Magic School Bus. What do we have here? We have keyboards. 75%. Stacked 75 from Canon keys. I do love me some... Yes, obliterated. Yep, that's a good call. Stacked 75 is... I like stacked acrylic keyboards, so that's an interesting one. Obliterated 75. There's the aluminum, and I believe maybe the plastic one's out of stock, because I think the devastating is the polycarbonate. So the obliterated 75, they probably have... for A stock, they actually have a lot of colors. They don't have E-white, but they have everything else. So red, navy, rose gold, black. Not bad, not bad. And then let me just post this in the chat so you can peruse it yourself. But here's the link for Foxstock. let's see. That's all. Oh, Godspeed. There's a Godspeed. Oh, and there's an obliterated polycarbonate. There's a polycarbonate one here too. These are all Cannon Keys joints. Oh, the Godspeed's on the key, TKC, which holy moly, this is expensive. 460 for the frosted polycarb version. That is kind of insane. Yeah, that's what I think. Oh, dude, I would maybe pay that for like a 7V, but even that would be a little much for me. But yeah, dude, you see 7Vs going for like $1,000 on there. It was only $299 on Group Buy. See, I just was never impressed with it. Like, I didn't even think it sounded that great before the Group Buy started, which is why I didn't go in on the Group Buy. But anyways, and then there's also this obliterated from Canon, which was mentioned already, which is cool. They have this is the polycarbonate, and these are all B stock. I don't know if they have any A stock. No. So you might be out of luck for that. You can get a sky blue, gray, navy, and white polycarbonate B stock. And I'm not exactly sure what B stock means here, but they have a quality disclaimer, so you can read that. But anyways. Yeah. So it'll say if it's polycarbonate or not. So the obliterate, they have the PC and the alu version is what they say. So yeesh. All right. Let us finish putting these little tiny donuts on these little screws. B stock means returned, canceled orders, or it had small issues. Yeah, I guess I'm not sure what issues are considered acceptable for B stock, you know, like how bad can it be? Because I guess that's what I would want to know if I was going to buy a B stock board is like, what's the worst that it could be if I bought this? But yeah, I don't really know. I've never actually bought a B stock board. Sean, have you tried a Godspeed before? I never even tried one. I just looked at that Group Buy and was like, maybe not for me. And then I moved on. Nope. Yeah. Okay. Me neither. There were other more interesting ones that I also didn't go in on. I think honestly, it's because I'm just not a huge 75 guy anymore. Used to be, but once I kind of decided I didn't like the F row very much because you can get to it with function and a number key incredibly quickly, then I gave up on it. I just think aesthetically 65 looks a little bit better. I don't like the aspect ratio of a 75% keyboard, if that makes sense. I like the aspect ratio of a TKL. But yeah, 75 is kind of awkward to me, to be honest. But that's just my opinion. The internet man has his own opinion. I forgot I need more of these. Little BB donuts. And I know sometimes sites will have like that, those little disclaimers, like, you know, like for instance, GMK Symbiote has a big disclaimer that's like, yo, these translucent novelties are probably going to suck, is basically the long and short of it. Use a 75 at work because you like to mash F5 to run queries. Right on. Yeah, I totally get that. And like also like the IT guys at my work. Oh, hey. NBTune, thank you for the follow. My lights go nuts every time someone interacts with my channel, so I appreciate you being here. But the IT guys at my work are always like, yo, how do you not use a numpad? Because they're typing IP addresses all day, and it's like, you can't do that. You can't be typing in IP addresses on the number row, you know? Atlas Meet Merlin. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Your stream failed, but anyways, I'll watch your stream while lubing some Gap Blacks. What happened to your stream? Internet go down? There was a thunderstorm this afternoon and I got kind of nervous. I was like, uh-oh, are we gonna have a power outage? But seems okay for now. Boom, checking out your stream. I'm creeping on your stream. Your droid cam wasn't responding. Right on. Yeah, I used I experimented with droid cam for a while. I'm fortunate in that I have several cameras, and so I was able to like get stream working without having to use that, but it seemed like cool software at least. I have also seen a lot of streamers. I think Elvin uses an iPhone, which is kind of cool that you can do that. Where does this last screw go? Oh, right there. Okay. Oh, look at this man. Look at this 5-head in chat. Let's give him the old Yahoo. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. You gotta love a good old bot account. I've had a few of those recently. It happens. Okay, we have all these little things in. Filet has warned me, so let it be said and let it be known that when this comes back to bite me when I'm going to the tape mod, Filet told me. He said no. And I did it anyways because that's just the kind of guy I am. I live fast and loose. I live dangerous. Sometimes I wear sunglasses inside. You don't know. I'm a wild man. I don't actually do that. That's dumb. Don't wear your sunglasses inside. Unless you just got LASIK, and then please do. Use Nightbot on your fiance's channel to do an auto ban for wanting to get famous spots. That's actually a really good idea. That's a really good idea. That's something I should consider. I use Streamcord or Streamlabs bot, whatever comes with that, but I want to bring in Nightlab or Nightbot to help out a little bit. You're faceless. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Like you don't show your face on Twitch? All right, let's bust out the switches. They've been here the whole time. You didn't even know. I was hiding them underneath this VHS case. Right on. What do you stream? Get some of the critical. I'm gonna start by soldering up the stabilized keys just to make sure that they're aligned correctly, they're straight, and that they sound good before I have to do more work. And this becomes a problem. Horror content. Oh, cool. And you do keyboard commissions. Right on. Nice. Good for you. That's cool. I'd like to get a little bit more into like games content. But it's one of the things where I just need to do it because I'm always like, I should do it. And then I'm like, I'm really bad at this game. But it's like, that's okay. These people are my friends and they like to hang out with me, so it'd be fun to do. All right, I'm just trying to... Dude, okay. Look how many stinking slots there are on this PCB for a spacebar. I guess what I could do is look and see where it was last soldered. I suppose that's a reasonable approach. Sunflowers, baby. You know it. That's what I lubed up a couple streams ago, and I just dropped on the floor. These are also T1s with a secret sauce blend for the stem that Durock will not say. So who knows what it'll be. But they felt great when I was lubing them, and they have this nice snappy pop to them. So I'm very excited. And I think they'll sound nice with this kind of gasket fake mod, and I guess with the tape too. We're going all out. We're going ham. Ham and cheddar on this thing. And I'm here for it. Oop, that did not. I didn't feel like it went in, and it definitely didn't. Come on out, little fella. There we go. All right. These are just a couple baseline switches just to... This board, yeah, good question. So, I think you might be thinking of the term plate mount stabilizers versus PCB mount stabilizers, but they also use that term for switches. So, a plate mount switch is an older term they used to use for 3-pin switches. So, let me show you what I mean. So, on a key switch... Oh, this is sorely out of focus. Also, please ignore my disgusting hand that is falling apart. You have... Every switch has a giant pin in the middle, this big circular one, and then 2 metal pins, and these are the contactors. And so those 3 you will find on every switch. A 5-pin switch also has these 2 plastic pins, which are fantastic for aligning the switch into the PCB and making sure that it fits straight in the hole. Back in the day, and even now, I mean, most switches you're going to find nowadays are 5-pin. And that's nice because you can always cut the legs off of a 5-pin. If you're trying to put it in a PCB that doesn't have those 2 holes, you can just cut the legs off. But if you have a 3-pin switch and you're trying to put it in a board with no plate, which the plate is this metallic layer on top, so you can build it without the plate, but if they're 3-pin switches, they can just twist any which way, which is just the most frustrating experience if you've ever done that. I've done it once, and I was like, I'm about done with that. I'm never doing that again. The same thing is basically true for stabilizers, where the stabilizer will either attach directly to the PCB like the ones we just installed, or they'll snap into the plate. The difference there being typically the plate mount stabilizers tend to be a little bit more rattly, and the PCB mount stabilizers tend to be a little bit more secure. And especially on a board like this, where the PCB is the thing that is supporting the whole assembly, it's really nice to have them kind of that way. So yeah, if that makes sense. With your board, you bought a USB-C coil braided cable for $15. Thank you, based Idabao. Yeah, right on. I've never built an Idabao or used an Idabao board, but... and to answer your question, the whiteboard, this is a Melody 65 that I built a few streams ago, and I put seal switches in it, which are like an 80-gram JWK linear, and Cat Arctic on the top. In fact, I think... Does this work? There you go. The exclamation point board command will tell you the board that I'm using, and then the exclamation point build command will tell you the board that I'm building. So there you go. You bought an ID80 crystal 250 with brass and a polycarb plate as well. I love polycarb plates. Polycarb and palm plates are definitely my favorites. And you had an ID80. I'm very interested to try one because they seem a bit polarizing, but yeah, I'm not sure. I think it'd be nice to at least try. All right, so let's get the stabilized switches soldered in real quick. And for that, we're going to need our good friend, the air filter. Gotcha. Interesting. Is the crystal version like translucent, I guess I'm imagining? 80 crystal has pour-on gaskets and others had bad foam. ID80 crystal is better. Okay, okay. We're learning. We're expanding our knowledge today. We're becoming 5 heads. All right. So here's a trick, by the way. The ID80 V1 is okay, quite stiff, integrated plate, but not really bad. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so here's a little trick. So right now I have foam in between the plate and the PCB. You can see this black layer right here, right? That foam tends to not want to compress. So what I'll do is, and if I were to just go ahead and solder the switch as is, it would be seated a little bit too high. So what I like to do is I like to solder in one leg of the switch first. Like, I will demonstrate. Also, let me turn my air filter on. Just enough solder to get you going. And then I'll pick it up and I'll push on the switch with my thumb and I'll hold the PCB with my fingers and then I'll remelt that solder while I'm pushing. And the switch will fully seat and then I'll let go and then it will stay there because now it's soldered in the correct position. So there you go. Let's do that with the other stabilized switches. Should be this one. Cool. Sorry, having a little chat with Keeb wife. Sunflowers are JWK recolors. They're actually Durock T1 recolors. And they're actually not just a recolor. They have some sort of a mystery plastic for the stem that they will not say what it is. So who really knows what it is? So they are tactile, not linear. Not a confusing hobby. Durock is JWK. JWK is... Wait, hold on. What do you mean? Durock is JWK, but JWK isn't Durock. So does that mean that Durock is owned by JWK? Is that what you're saying? Durock is the vendor, JWK is the maker. Oh, really? Did not know that. Upgrade you did for the ID80 that you really like was adding cork foam. Huh. Between the PCB and the plate or between the plate and the PCB and the case? All right. Let's put the stabilized keys on and check the sound. People use JWK Durock interchangeably for a long time, so starts confusing. Gotcha. I did not know that. The shift key. All right, let's give these a listen, shall we? Well, that's my own stream up there. I'm digging it. One day factory lubing will be so good we won't need a hand lube. Honestly, I believe that. I do. I think there will still be... Let me clarify. What I mean is that the day will come when I am completely satisfied with the factory lube switch, but I guarantee you there's still going to be like purists out there who are like... they'll be like, oh no, it's better for sure. And that's when you see... I'll be the guy selling ultrasonic cleaners to those guys, right? Because that's what they do. They open up the pre-lube switches, they chuck them in an ultrasonic bath, clean those bad boys off. I have an ultrasonic cleaner for sure. Back in my day, we painted it by hand and we liked it. Okay? That's true. What are the odds I'm going to be that guy, though? Just the old head. You use an ultrasonic cleaner to loop switches? That would be worse. I have an ultrasonic cleaner. I've just never cleaned switches with it. I use it for resin 3D prints to clean them off. For which it works very well. Okay. So we got the these are like the critical switches to just make sure that this plate is correctly aligned. And then we're just popping in the rest. I think at this point it should be relatively safe to assume that a switch that's been put in the plate correctly will be flush with the PCB the way it should be, just because we've got the load bearing switches already in place. So around the edges I might give them a little help like I was just doing, but it should be a little bit quicker from here on out. Also, I don't think I filmed these. No, I did not. Maybe, wait, did I? I don't think I did. I think I remember thinking that I wasn't going to lube or film these, just lube them. But now I'm not so sure. I don't know. I don't think they are. The nice thing is, usually I'm like trying to guess, like which mod keys do I want? Not a concern here, because I just check which holes have solder left in them. You feel like filming's not worth? Yeah. I do it for JWK switches primarily, and that's about it. It is a pain. I agree. But the other thing for me though is that like when I lube switches, I do it on stream now. So if it don't be this way. But if it stretches 2 hours of content into 3 hours of content, that's business, baby. But for real though, it is nice to have like a little bit of extra time with the lubing process, just because friends pop in and into the stream. But when I was just on my own, you know, not streaming while I was lubing, I was like, this is the worst and I hate this. Okay, is it important if the film is not 100% inside the switch? Yeah, so if it's like hanging out a little bit, what I've actually found helps is that if it's like egregiously sticking out, I'll pop it in the switch opener, but hold it so that it's not fully open, and then just use my finger to realign it and snap it back down. So yeah, it's okay if it's not like perfectly in there. All it's really trying to do is take up space. What can happen though is if it's too misaligned, it can actually interfere with the stem. That's happened to me on a couple of occasions. So that's where I'd be like, okay, we're not doing that. Also, if the switch film is clear, it's a little easier on the eyes if it's not aligned. I have colored switch films because I try to theme them for the switches I'm putting them in. TX Films, by the way, shout out to them. They make great switch films, and they have them in pretty much every color, and you don't have to pay extra for like the color version. So I'll usually be like, okay, what switches do I need to film? And then I'll just grab colored packs. But if it's clear, then it's a little bit easier to see. You broke both your eggs in your ramen. Oh no. Like soft-boiled eggs? Yours are black and they don't look great. Ah, I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, once it's in the board too, and especially once there's keycaps on the board, it's like, eh. You always match matching the film color with the stem color. Oh, interesting. I always match it with the housing color. But, then you get like banana splits, and it's like, well, what color do I pick? There's multiple. Or like the Neapolitans that I'm going to be lubing relatively soon. It's like, well, I don't know. When in doubt, just use clear films. RIP to your ramen dough. You've literally never broken an egg yolk in ramen before, and you did 2 in one shot? Dude, ramen sounds so good right now. I've not had dinner yet. Dude, last night, your boy made Crunchwrap Supremes from scratch, and they were fantastic. I went to Taco Bell a while ago, and I got a Crunchwrap Supreme, and I had like almost no meat in it, and I thought to myself, this is dumb. I can put a lot of meat in a Crunchwrap Supreme, and so I did, and it was great. I put a ton of it in there. It was fantastic. Cooking stream, that'd actually be super fun. So I love cooking. I cook a lot, and I think it'd be super fun to do a cooking stream. Yes, with the wife. Keep wife, come do a cooking stream with me. It'd be super fun. Fellas, if you're out here trying to impress ladies, take it from me. Knowing how to cook definitely helps. They dig it. So, teach yourself to cook. It's really fun, honestly. It's very satisfying. My problem is I think I find it too satisfying, and so I'll find a recipe that takes like 8 hours. Not really. Maybe like 2 hours. And so it'll be like 9 p.m. by the time dinner's ready, and my wife will just be dying on the vine. So don't do that. Hate cleaning dishes. Yeah. It do be that way. That's actually why my mom hates cooking, is purely because she doesn't like having to deal with all the dishes. I think she'd be a phenomenal cook if she had the patience for it, but she does not, which is fine. Not everybody has to. Dude, okay, let me tell you a sad story. Okay? So this is a few years ago, maybe 2 years ago. You know how to cook since you were like 8 or 9, but your aunt who lived with you at the time was a professional chef. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Why won't this thing turn off? My fan is rebelling here. Whatever. We just do this. Okay. So, all right. It's story time, y'all. So, my wife went to Africa on like a medical missions trip, right? She is in medicine and so was able to go with the team and help out some of the people there. But I was left alone for like almost a month, I think. So while this was happening, I thought to myself, I've been eating nothing but garbage this entire time because that's how I be. So I am just going to make myself the fanciest food I can. And I wanted to make ramen. And so I found a recipe that needed like a bone broth and I couldn't find any of it locally. And I was like, well, I'm going to, make it from scratch. So I'm going to go ahead and make my own bone broth. And so it was like a multi-day process to simmer these bones and this stock and like get it just right. Cause it was like the super like really, I don't know what recipe I found, but it was like this really fancy broth. That was the starting point. And then I was going to make the noodles from scratch and you have to like bake baking soda to make some sort of acidic solution you can't touch with your hands, or you have to use gloves. It's a whole thing, right? Pork bone broth. Yeah, that's exactly what I was making. It's taken me forever to make this. I spent hours and hours on it. In the middle of making this broth, I got sick and I had like a fever and I just wasn't thinking clearly. But by the end of this sickness, or in the middle of the sickness, I needed to get the broth off the stove and get the bones out of it. So I was like, fine. I got out of bed just to do that, and I was going to go straight back to bed. So I get the pot and I get the strainer and I walk over to the sink and I pour the broth through the strainer into the sink. And then I just stand there with a strainer full of bones in my hand, looking at all this broth that just went down the drain of my sink. And I just shut the burner off and I went back to bed. And I've never been more annoyed than that moment in my life where I was just like, okay, this is stupid. I don't deserve fancy ramen. It was awful. But, those things happen. Anyways, yeah, exactly. You said thoughts on metal keycaps. Never used one before. So I don't know. They sound kind of weird. I've seen some sound tests, and I don't know that I like the sound. For like an artisan, sure, but like a whole board. First of all, that's probably expensive. Like I know that Alluvia, it was like an aluminum Alluvia set, was like $300 for a full set. So, I don't know, man. Have you heard of switch ping? How about ding? Yeah, like this is a classic. If y'all, yeah, exactly, Filet. That's what I was gonna say. The metal Linus Tech Tips keyboard. This spacebar sounds like sword fighters fighting. It's crazy. Let me pull up the VOD for that. We can watch that. The sound test at least. It was so funny. Let's go on the old U-Tibbles and we'll check out the VOD. Here we go. Let me mute the music. That is pretty terrible. Not a fan of that. I think actually that one is a full metal keycap set too. So there you go. But I think like artisans, like the high, like Olivia metal enter key is so cool. If I didn't want to spend $200 on a single keycap, I would totally get that. I've never used a fan soldering. How many days more do I have to live? I mean, depends on how much you solder, but I didn't for a while either. I'm a weak asthmatic boy. So anything I can do to help my lungs out is a plus. I think about that a lot. Like, good thing I was born when I was, because if I had to grow up in like a hunter-gatherer type of situation where I had to like run for my life, I would just have been straight up dead. Like, that's it. Sorry. I've never tried smoking. I have had no desire to. I have a theory that it would kill me just because of my asthma, so yeah, I don't know. I also had dude, okay, so recently in Montana there's this big huge cavern, like just a cave you can visit. Speed running life, yeah, for sure. There's a huge cavern that you can just go visit. It's pretty neat. There's like they've carved stairs into the rock face, and you can just walk through. And there's a tour guide to tell you there's like little bat populations that live inside. It's really fun. But I was there this last summer with my wife, and there was a dude there who was vaping inside the cave, which it's like, bro, are you serious? Like, we are all stuck in here with you, and I am really struggling with my lungs, and it's like this nasty cotton candy. I don't know, man. It's like, I was so frustrated. I was like, come on, man. Like, I'm not going to judge you if you vape out in the open, but we are literally all in a metal or a stone tube together, like crouching, sneaking through a tube in the rock, and he's out here vaping. It was like, bruh. Yeah, I did get a headache. It was awful. And then we got in the car, and my wife and I both smelled like cotton candy, and the whole car smelled like cotton candy. We drove the whole way home with the windows down, even though like the wildfire smoke was really bad. It was like, dude, this guy's crazy. Yeah, I hate the sweet stuff, mostly because when I was in college, like, I would be like, there were food trucks that would come on campus, and every once in a while, I'd be like, "Ooh, I smell cinnamon rolls," and I'd go around the corner, and it's some dude with a vape. Like, bruh, don't do me like that. Wildfire smoke is variable for me. If it smells like a campfire, then I like it. But sometimes it's just this like harsh, acrid smell of death and destruction that I really don't like. So that's more so what it was today. But it did start raining tonight, for which I'm very thankful. So totally depends, I guess. And here it gets so bad. I mean, I'm sure in California y'all know how this is, but like they'll just be like, if you leave your car windows open, there'll be like ash on your dashboard in the morning, and like it's crazy. We don't normally have to deal with wildfires in Minnesota. A lot of smoke coming from Canada. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Dude, it's crazy. Some of the fires in Canada too. Like I remember one year they had a really early fire in Canada. Like it's probably like May, and there was a ton of smoke coming down from Canada, and I was like, that's weird. We still had snow on the ground, and I feel like they're usually supposed to be like colder than Montana. But I guess it depends, you know? Minnesota is beautiful though. I love that state. I went to a friend's wedding there and I loved it. Okay. When you moved out there for the first time, you didn't know what the tornado siren was. You thought it was the end of the world. Dude, tornado sirens are spooky, man. I listened to like a compilation of terrifying warning sirens because that's the kind of thing I watch on YouTube, and it was very scary. All right, let's test this PCB before we get any further, just to make sure every switch is working. PCB lights up. That's good. Yeah, see, we don't have tornadoes here. We had one tornado in recent memory, and it wasn't in the state or in the city I live in. It did rip the roof off of a building, but I mean, like they just don't really happen because there's so many mountains here. I'm sure in like eastern Montana it happens, but like nobody lives out there, so no one knows about it. Okay. Key tester. Hello? Oh, it thinks I'm on the other keyboard. There we go. Oh, we got a wild one. Yep, that one's not soldered. So one on the top row. Got a wild one there. Yep, that one's not soldered. Bruh, good thing we didn't have a prediction on this. People would have been losing channel points for days. Well, the people who believe in me. The sensible doubters would have been fine. I'm assuming this is like a function. Nope, it's just not soldered. Okay, so we got 3. There's my map. We'll get those done. Good thing I tested that before I taped this up. Oh, that's why I didn't see it. There's a pin bent on that one. I like to make up excuses for myself. Nope, there wasn't a pin bent. I just am a blind boy. Okay. Cool. Everything looks good. Looks good, looks good. Okay. I'm feeling it. Can you feel it, Mr. Krabs? So the next thing we're going to do is put some tape on this bad boy. See, the reason that I put the screws in here first is like I was really concerned about trying to fit the screws through these holes in the PCB or in the plate. So we're going to risk it here. And I think we're going to use the expensive tape because it's a lot thicker. Okay, chat, please educate me because I've never done this before. How many layers do I use? Just one? I don't know. Okay. Where's oh, what's her name? Patness. Where's Patness when you need her? Also, this tape isn't very sticky. I mean, it is painter's tape, so that's kind of the point. But let me pre-make some holes here. If it's thick tape, I would think 1. Okay. That do be seeming reasonable. Imagine using duct tape. Imagine. Who would do that? I might do that. The absolute audacity. Okay. I don't care about the RGB here. Glue stick and paper. Imagine tar and feathers. Or like wallpaper tape. Is it okay if the little stems of the switches stick through? Because it seems like it's holding everything on a little better that way. There we go. Yes? Do we like this? Good. Okay, next row. I don't know how many layers I should add. Yeah, me neither. Me neither, my guy. There's only 1 screw hole in this layer. That's nice. Where's Elvin at? He did this morning. Or Nintendo. He did this on the board he gave away. What's the play, Filet? Oh, Filet, you're doing this literally right now. Why am I not asking you? How many layers should I do then? Should I do another one? This is like that thick frog brand of tape. Oh, there's a button here too. Should probably dig that out. You did too? Okay. All right. There's our reset button. So we got 3 screws. All right, last row of tape. That one's got 2 holes on it. Okay. Okay, that's the last hole there. I might actually just go with 1 on this. You just finish lubing your stabs and your spacebar sounds way better, right? That's what I always say, man. Oh, there's another screw here. Do yourself a favor if you're going to do one thing to mod your keyboard. Lube those stabilizers. Okay. Let me just make sure that I have... Sounds like someone shooting a gun really far away. Wait, really? In my audio? Oh, your keyboard. Okay, I was freaking out. I was like, you guys can hear that? No one was supposed to know I was shooting a gun really far away. Okay. This looks pretty good. It's looking good. Let's just check the... So 1, 2, 3 on that one. Yes. 1, 2. Right there. Yes. And then 1 in the middle. Yes. Okay, good. Let me open these up a little bit because I want the rubber to be in contact with the stem. But my risky gambit seems to have worked where I did not put the screws in last. At least for now. I'm sure to anyone who's unfamiliar with keyboards and is just stopping by to see what the heck is up, this looks insane. And I guarantee you it is. Okay. That looks good. Sounds good, Flay. All right, so I think we're basically ready to reinstall this thing. So let's drop it in here real quick and see how we're feeling. One of the consequences that I did not think about was that the foam, you can see that it kind of sticks out too far. That's because we're using a different style of stabilizer than before. So I probably need to get rid of that because I don't think it's going to fit in the case otherwise. Someone on YouTube made a comment asking, why would you pay $200 for keyboards when a Razer keyboard sounds good? Yeah, I mean, that argument I don't agree with. The argument that says, why would you pay $200 for a keyboard when a regular keyboard will type the same letters? Well, they got me there. But it feels good. So if for you that's a bad value proposition, then go for it. Get a Razer, you know? But for me, I can't deal. I'm too much of a schnob. Okay. It is kind of an insane... You know, it's funny how you kind of get indoctrinated into a hobby, right? Where a $200 keyboard is definitely on the like way on the budget side for custom mechanical keyboards. However, if you had told me that like 4 years ago, I would have been like, that's insane. I would never pay that. But now I'm like, $500 for a fully built custom keyboard, that's pretty decent. You know, it's all about perspective. Oh, interesting. Here's another issue. The space bar has... I put these little rings on the stabilizers. They prevent shorts. However, they are interfering with the mount. So I'm going to take them off on these ones. And if we short, we short. It's pretty sticker shocked when I was looking at a TKL. Yeah, yep. For sure. Hey, just get a Mysterium. They're fun to build. They're nice. I just think they're nice. Yeah, fair enough. It's cool that you're in this community because I know you stream. Is it crochet or knitting? I don't want to mess that up. It's crochet, right? That you make? I don't actually know the name of the art form. Crochet, right on. Cool. Actually, in the makers and crafting tag, I saw a guy making crochet needles on like a lathe, which I thought was really cool. Okay. All right. So I pulled those 4 O-rings off. That should allow this to fit a little bit easier. There we go. Okay. Hopefully now these will actually... Now you don't want to tighten them all the way. Otherwise, what's the point of the O-rings? Oh yeah. Actually, I might back these off a little bit. Completely random that you found this community. Cool. Well, we're really glad you're here. You're definitely one of the most supportive members of this community, and I really appreciate that. Shouts out on Instagram and always active in people's chats. It's really fun. Okay. Guys. And gals. Boys. The boys with the points. I think we're in the money zone here. Because soldering's done. Let's check these. Make sure it still works. I realized I should have tested all of these before I screwed the whole thing down and tape modded it because I did have some outliers last time, but home, page up, page down, and good. Yep, function. Great. Cool. So let's get to capping. Let me put these little tiny O-rings back first. That worked pretty well. Okay. There's a lot of bad takes on YouTube. That's faux show. I think too, it's like when people just don't understand something, they'll be overly critical, right? It's like, I don't get why you would spend that much, therefore you're dumb. Nah, not really. You're not dumb. Or maybe we're all just collectively dumb. That's okay. My philosophy is you should... my philosophy on if you should build a custom keyboard or just buy a pre-built is... Ooh, drum roll. Philosophy incoming. You have a $2,000 PC, $120 mouse, then why would you get a $50 pre-built keyboard on Amazon? Yeah, that's a solid take. I totally agree with that. Treat yourself. Treat your hands. Dude, look at how much... I don't know if you can tell. Like, let me know if you can see this. Just like how much flex or squishiness there is on the deck now. This is actually shocking. Like, part of it is that it's sinking into the desk mat, but like... For real, though, like you can see how much it can squish. Look at that squish. I like it. All right. Now it is time to cap a fool. Okay? So, prepare yourself for... Like, do you want to look like you still use your mom's credit card? I mean, some people buy keyboards on their mom's credit card. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna do myself a favor and put all these up right. Okay. I am notoriously slow at capping keyboards because I usually do exactly this and I just dump stuff out. Now, fortunately, in this instance, these are the exact keycaps that were already on the board. So every single keycap has a home. So I should be able to at least not be sorting through mountains of keycaps that I don't need. However, I have created a new little game for myself. Well, Filet, I don't think you were here the last time I did this. I have come up with a solution to rectify this problem because this is frankly unacceptable. You know, like what's going on right now. So I need to make it faster. So in light of that, I did this a few streams ago. So I don't think you were here for that. Here's what we do. We set a timer, a stopwatch rather. Okay. And I'm going to try to cap this thing as fast as humanly possible. And we're going to time it. Okay. Here we go. Can you see the timer? All right. I'm going to move this a little bit. Music's fading out. This is good timing. Here we go. It's taking too long. Cabinet. Yep. I messed the whole thing up. I messed the entire thing up. I apologize. It's too chaotic. There's more music, don't worry. So close. Okay. Okay. Guys, we made it. That 3:28. That's a new record though, for sure. My last one was 7 minutes. So for real. We're improving. Cool. I think I owe you guys a sound test, huh? Eh? Eh? Let's do that. Okay. I'm so stressed out. That's honestly, like, frankly, it's very stressful. Like, I just get so sweaty and anxious. All right, here we go. Oh, no. Here we go. Also, holy cow, 80. That was a pretty bad speed test, eh? Let me do better this time. All right, this is a Tofu65 tape modded, O-ring modded with Durock sunflowers and ASA Olivia and an aluminum plate. Oh my gosh. Redo. The Teja special. All right. How does that grab you? How we feeling? Wait, was there no sound on that? I think you're trolling me. I think there was sound on that. Oh, it grabs. Good. Grabs you good. Dude, this feels really nice. I will say, maybe they need a little bit more like breaking in or something. But compared to like a kiwi, these sunflowers are a little bit mushy. Like just a little. Like I think it's the pre-travel. I think that the pre-travel's a little long, and so it leads it to have this weird, almost mushy feeling. Yeah, it's not like a snappy, like a nice poppy feel. In fact, I think they were more, I didn't lube the legs on the stems, but I think they definitely felt a little poppier before I lubed them. So I guess word to the wise, if you're really after that pop, either don't lube your sunflowers or get something else. But having said that, they are smooth as all get out. Tactiles are like B and sunflowers are like D. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Like a big round elongated thing. So yeah, I don't know. I like them. I think that this board feels way better. And it's definitely much more muted. Like the board used to speak, if I can use a weird word for it, a little bit more before I Tempest modded this. But the deck flex feels really nice with the O-rings. Like definitely going to do that again if I build another Tofu. Or rebuild a Tofu. So, I don't know. All in all, I am pleased with this. I like this. Will I go back to daily driving it? Maybe. But this is so nice. This I don't know. I have a Ramakara at work, and I have this Melody 65 at home, and those are my two daily drivers, and I think it would take a lot to append one of those. But all I can say is noise. I like this. I would give in terms of like tier rankings, for tactile switches, I'd probably say like S tier would be probably like an OG Holy Panda. I would say A tier would be a Kiwi. These would probably be a solid B tier, which we take those. I mean, these are nice. And they have things that not all, like I think they're smoother than Kiwis. Just the action of them feels a lot smoother. So that is my official and tax deductible review of the sunflower switches. I also like these keycaps a lot. If you haven't seen ASA profile, they're double shot. They're really thick, so you get a nice deep sound, but they're not quite as tall as SA. So you don't necessarily have to grapple with like an absolutely mountainous keyboard. And the legends are super crisp. The one thing I don't like is that they're kind of stealing the Olivia color profile, and I don't like theft of theme. Like HK Gaming does it, and they're pretty brazen about it. I think that's what annoys me the most about them. It's like, yeah, if your color palette's similar, I understand, but I think they actually called this Olivia. So I was like, all right, guy, come on now. But you can get these for pretty cheap on Amazon, and they come in like a plastic hardcover case. These keycaps do, so pretty interesting stuff. Anyways, I think that's about all I have for the day. Yeah, HK Gaming is trash, honestly. Like their keycaps at least are awful. They have sprues on them from like injection molding, and they're just like directly stealing keycap designs from other people, which is like patently uncool. So not a fan of them. And they're very rude to the designers who they're ripping off. So don't buy HK Gaming keycaps, honestly. Who is streaming right now? We can raid somebody because I'm about done for the day. They should just stop being a company. Yeah, fair. Unless you guys have any other questions, want me to try anything else, I am going to wrap her up for the day. I am going to go eat some dinner. So we should find somebody a drop test. You always say that, Filet, and I'm never going to... Someday I will, okay? I'm going to surprise you, and I'm going to drop test something. But it's only going to be on a day that you don't suggest it, okay? Lightning Keyboards is on. CG Buen is on. GG Java is on. Let's see though if there's any like low to no viewer makers and crafting streamers, because I like to dump people on that. You know, that's kind of a nice thing to do. If y'all have any suggestions too. Oh, we like birthday raids. I'm not following this streamer. Let's look them up. 1 year anniversary and birthday stream. Well, first of all, I'm gonna give them a quick little follow. I'm getting an ad. That's annoying. I just need to sub. That's the truth. Great. Okay. Great. We're gonna raid Takoya keys, if that's how you pronounce it. Let's do a raid message. Sorry guys, I'm always really bad with these raid messages. You know what? Let's just go with my standard raid message. It's !raid. It's this. Okay. So everybody copy paste that. We're gonna go raid Takoya keys. And I will see you guys there. Honestly, guys, thank you so much for being here. That was a super fun stream. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to next stream. I'll be back. I might stream this Wednesday. I might stream some Satisfactory, but at the very least, I'll be back here on Saturday, and I will be doing a lube stream, and then I'll be building another board on Monday. You know where I be. So thanks for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have a good night. Let's raid. Let me make sure that I paste. There we go. Start raid. Yep. And I will see you all next time. Have a good night.